It's Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com with another quick tip for families in intensive care. So today's tip is from George, and George asks, I have been asked to move my father to a long-term care facility because we are only day 6 of intubation and he's making progress in his weaning off the ventilator. What should I do? That is a great question, George, and thank you for asking it. Now, this is specific to our US audience because George is talking about LTAC or long-term acute care. In other English-speaking countries, there are no long-term acute care facilities, so this is very unique to our US audience. Let's break this down. I mean, you've potentially heard me warn before about LTACs, so that you shouldn't go to an LTAC. And this is another prime example that ICUs have become complacent. They are talking about sending your dad to an LTAC after day 6. I tell you what they should be talking about. They should be talking about how to get your dad off the ventilator, extubate him. Extubation is a removal of the breathing tube. And avoid the trach and avoid LTAC, because once he's off the ventilator and the breathing tube, he doesn't need a trach, and he certainly won't need LTAC or long-term acute care. So clearly, they are not focusing on the right priorities, and they're harming your dad in the process. The ultimate goal for a patient in ICU on a ventilator is to get off that ventilator as quickly as possible, avoid a tracheostomy, and therefore avoid LTAC. But even if you're watching this in any other country, the goal is to get your family member off the ventilator, avoiding the trach, full stop. Even if your family member needs a trach, then still the goal is to get them off the ventilator and the trach as quickly as possible. So one way or another. But clearly this ICU is not focusing on the right things. Why are they talking about LTAC instead of talking about getting your dad off the ventilator? That must be the ultimate goal. And this is another prime example that the biggest challenge for families in intensive care is simply that they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what to look for. They don't know what questions to ask. They don't know their rights, and they don't know how to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care. One way that we can help you with this is simply by looking at the medical records and helping you understand how the ICU team can get your dad off the ventilator as quickly as possible, also talking to them directly and making sure they know you have someone on your team that understands intensive care inside out and can guide you with this. Clearly, you need help. And one way for us to help in situations like that is through our membership for families of critically ill patients in intensive care by going to intensivecarehotline.com. And you can click on the membership link there, or you go to intensivecaresupport.org directly. And in our membership for families of critically ill patients in intensive care, you have access to me and my team 24 hours a day in a membership area and via email. And we answer all questions intensive care related. I also offer one-on-one consulting and advocacy over the phone, Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, whichever medium works best for you. And I talk to you and your families directly. I talk to doctors and nurses directly, holding them accountable so that you make informed decisions, have peace of mind, control, power, and influence in those situations where you have the perception that ICU teams hold the upper hand, but they don't, as long as you play your cards right and you have the right tools, tips, and strategies. I have worked in intensive care for over 20 years in 3 different countries, where I worked as a nurse unit manager for over 5 years, and where I also I have been advocating for families in intensive care all over the world for the last 10 years here at intensivecarehotline.com. I also represent you in family meetings with intensive care teams so that you don't get walked all over in family meetings, and that you have a strategy when you go there. And I strategize with you whether you should even go into a family meeting, right? Just because the intensive care team says jump doesn't mean you need to ask how high. Again, 99% of families in intensive care have no strategies whatsoever. Now, I can say without exaggeration that we have saved lives over the years, and you can verify that by looking at our testimonial section on our website, or by looking at our podcast section with client interviews at intensivecarehotline.com. We also offer medical record reviews in real time so that you can get a second opinion in real time. We also offer medical record reviews after intensive care if you have unanswered questions, if you need closure, or if you are simply suspecting medical negligence. Now, if you like my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families in intensive care, and also go to intensivecarehotline.com. There, give us a call on the numbers on the top of our website, or send us an email to support@intensivecarehotline.com. Again, subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families in intensive care. Click the like button, click the notification bell, share the video with your friends and families, and comment below what you want to see next or what questions and insights you have. Thank you so much for watching. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I will talk to you in a few days. Take care for now.